Welcome to the channel, Rev Dr. J.W. Morrison, fresh in from training. The story of Joel Guy Jr., the Tennessee man who butchered his parents for cutting him off from the life insurance and from leeching on them. He was a leech. Man, that guy looks familiar to me. God, he looks familiar. Who? Anyway. Like most Americans, in late November, Joel Michael Guy and his wife Lisa, that's the parents, were preparing for a feast. The Knoxville, Tennessee couple was grateful to have their son, Joel Guy Jr., and his 3 half-sisters over for Thanksgiving. Man, that guy just doesn't look right in the eyes, does he? Their joy would be tragically turned into terror as Joel Guy Jr. stabbed them to death later that weekend, and the crime scene of Joel Guy Jr. was macabre. He stabbed his father 42 times before knifing his mother 31 times. He dismembered them both, boiling his mother's head in a pot. That's the pot. That's the mama. Mum's head went into a pot. And disgraceful. And flushing their flesh down the toilet. Joel Guy Jr., that's what he thought of his parents. I'll just flush this down the toilet. I'll boil mum's head. Or the stepmum's head, I believe. And had, was it the stepmum? I can't work out who the 3 daughters were to, the father or the mother. No, because it's Joel Guy Jr., so she's probably come along with 3 daughters. And that can stir these selfish, self-righteous, self-centered, serial narcissistic, grandiose, fucking adult children up. He doused killing rooms, kitchen with bleach. 1 bullet point read, flush chunks down the toilet, not garbage disposal. And read another, while the gruesome crime was baffling, the motive was rather blatant. Joel Guy Jr. would receive $500,000 in life insurance if his parents died or disappeared, but he never saw a cent, so that fell over on him. What these people don't realise, they prop these adult children up, and then the children become entitled. And they rely on these parents to support them, and they think that they should be supported by these parents. They're self-entitled. Completely self-entitled. Disgraceful. Why Joel Guy Jr. planned to kill his parents. Joel Guy Jr. was born on March 13, 1988, with relatives calling him Joel Michael to distinguish him from his father. His half-sisters would note that he was reclusive and rarely left his room, but he was intellectually competent. See, it's not intellect does not determine an underlying mental health issue. Intellect and the strength or weakness thereof does not determine an underlying mental health issue. He graduated from the Louisiana School for Math, Science and Arts in 2006. However, Joel spent most of his life with his parents at Golden View Lane in West Knox, Tennessee. He spent a semester at George Washington University but dropped out. He later went to Louisiana State University to study plastic surgery, but withdrew in 2015. Now, so he's obviously got some sort of surgical knowledge, living lazily in a Baton Rouge apartment. He was a grub that depended on these people. And you know what? If she was his stepmother, she would have been telling the father to let him go. He had spent 9 years in colleges without graduating, all of it financed by his parents. Oh gosh. By the time he was 28, he had still never had a job. By the time he was 28, when Joel Guy Sr. was fired from his engineering job, he knew he should cut his son off. So they'd been supporting him. They were just enabling him. And that can cause resentment and bitterness too. Just because you're helping someone doesn't mean they don't resent you. His wife was earning a small salary at a human resources job for another engineering firm, and the couple wanted to retire. They got chopped up. So sad. The 61-year-old father and his 55-year-old wife thus happily hosted one last hurrah, inviting their children for Thanksgiving in 2016. They planned to move back to their native Kingsport, Tennessee place or town 2 weeks later. But they would never get the chance because Joel Guy Jr., well versed in his parents' finances, wanted their money for himself. And a lot of these people want their mummy or their daddy to themselves as well. And they'll kill the partner. The celebrity feast on November 26 seemingly went without a hitch, after which all three daughters returned to their individual lives. Joel Guy Jr., meanwhile, had already plotted out his crimes in a notebook and purchased plastic containers and bleach. When his mother went out shopping on November 24, he began. Joel Guy Jr. walked upstairs and knifed his father to death in the exercise room. The blade pierced lungs, liver and kidneys and broke several ribs. Unknowingly widowed, Lisa returned and was similarly ambushed. An autopsy would reveal that Joel had severed 9 of her ribs, and that's hard, because I used to be a slaughterman. And there used to be a saw called the brisket saw. But Joel Guy Jr.'s work had only just begun. Inside the grisly crime scene of Joel Guy Jr. Before returning to his apartment on November 27, 2016, Joel Guy Jr. cut his father's hands off at the wrist and severed his arms at the shoulder blades. He then severed his legs at the hip with the saw and severed his right foot at the ankle, leaving it in the exercise room. The body was riddled with defensive wounds. Joel then cut his mother's body up in an identical fashion, except he also decapitated her. He hated her. Whoa. He placed his parents' torsos and limbs into 45-gallon plastic containers and turned the thermostat to 90 degrees. His notebook explained that this speeds up composition and might melt fingerprints. Prosecutors would call those vats of dissolving body parts a diabolical stew of human remains. That's what he thought of his parents. You people, some of you people are blind. Open your eyes. Stop enabling these self-grandized and pedestalized by you parents individuals, adult individuals, because they're coming for your stuff and they're coming for you. They were found after Lisa Guy failed to show up for work on Monday and her boss called the police. Knox County Sheriff's Office Detective Jeremy McCord performed a welfare check and arrived with an ominous feeling. Walking through the downstairs of the house, nothing made sense to me, he said. You could see straight down the hall and I saw hands, not connected to a body. At that point, the other officers held the hallway and we started doing standard building clearing. I will never get those smells out of my head or my dreams. The walls were covered in blood and the floors were littered with blood and drenched clothing. Investigators found Lisa Guy's head boiling in a stock pot on a stove. Mum's head's in there. Police arrested Joel Guy Jr. on November 29 as he tried to escape his apartment in his 2006 Hyundai Sonata. Can you shut that glass door, please? Ta. His notebook left behind at the crime scene included details like considering to flood the home to cover up forensic evidence and to set up an automated text from his mother on Sunday to prove that he was in Baton Rouge and she was still alive. It also noted the life insurance policy which served as the prosecutor's motive. So he put the price of $5,000 on his mother and father and said, "It will all be mine." With him missing dead, I get the whole thing. On October 2, 2020, Joel Guy Jr. was found guilty of 2 counts of premeditated first-degree murder, 3 counts of felony murder, and 2 counts of abuse of a corpse, and was sentenced to life in prison. That's just not right. If you haven't already, subscribe to the tradie secular channel or the religious channel, Christian channel, Pro Theologist, Pro Bricky with Rev Dr. J.W. Morrison. Like, share, and please comment, subscribe. We'd love to see comments because I can work with those. This is Rev Dr. J.W. Morrison. Single mothers, lock your doors at night. You've ruined these children. Bye for now.